Hello, everyone. I know it's been a very long time since I've done one of these, but the important thing is that I'm here to talk to you now. So, uh, I got a lot to get off my chest. Some good things, some bad things, some neutral things, bit of a preachy side talk for the end of the video. There's a reason why I look like I'm in the Secret Service right now, and that's because the mic on my laptop is not being very good right now, so I have to use the one in my earbuds. So, all that aside, let's just jump right into it. So, obviously, Lies in Pieces, the book I've been working on quite a lot. It's going quite well considering the lack of time I've had to work on it these past few months, but I am currently a quarter of the way through Act 2 right now. I've been stuck on one planet, but I think I'm starting to figure out a way around that, figuring out a way off this planet and moving forward with the rest of the action. The characters in this book are working together seamlessly. The action's flowing a lot better this time. The writing style is really becoming what I wanted it to be in the first book, and this is becoming a real treat to write. I just hope it is as much a treat for you to read when it's finally done. Uh, Other things that have been happening. I've also written some pretty interesting short stories over the past couple of months. I might be looking to retool them and submit them to a magazine, so I'm probably going to push a lot harder to get these submitted to a magazine, especially the second one I did, but I'll talk about that later. So, excuse me. Other books I've been thinking about lately. I'm still thinking about that metafiction thriller. Haven't really given you an update about it because I haven't really thought very much about the specifics. I have a very rough idea for it, but I know that's something I want to write some point down the road in the future, probably sometime in the 2020s. I don't know. And then I want to maybe do a xenoarchaeology thriller at some point, but again, that's not going to be for some time. I'm really focused on the Sins of Peace series, and I'm also going to be focused on whatever short stories come down my pipe. So here's the next phase of this video where I got to talk a little bit of bad news, a little bit of, yeah, maybe tick off a few people. We'll see. So, all right. If you know anything about me, if you've read my biography before, if you ever met me before, know anything about me, I've been involved in an Army ROTC program from basically the second I set foot on college. I have Hua in my blood, and it's to a point where I bleed green. I wanted to be an active duty officer in the Army after I graduated college, but I admit I did not try hard enough for that at all. So I really earned that guard commission, basically. I did not take this very well the first couple of times, and I got the scars on my forearm to prove it, but basically, thinking about it now, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I said it. This is not the end of the world. In fact, I actually think this is a very good thing for me. What this allows me to do is, if I were on active duty, I'd be thinking about everything very time. I'd be stressed. I'd basically look like I were 50 years old and I'd only be 40. But the thing is, I'm not that. I'm in the reserves now. I have to have a full-time job, sure, but this gives me a lot more time to focus on my writing. Focus on my writing, really develop that craft so that I can make it something good and possibly even bring it up to the next level. I already have a plan to do that. So, the Sins of Peace, right? Valiant first effort, pretty good for a first try, but unfortunately, when I hear pretty good and first try used very close to each other in the same sentence, that reads in my brain unacceptable. So, what I plan on doing is I plan on retooling the first book, taking the first book back, fleshing out more of that story, making the writing style better, and essentially retooling it and submitting it to an agent. This does mean that I will have to take the Sins of Peace off of Amazon right now in its current state. I'm not going to do that right now. When the final version of the Sins of Peace, I'm kind of, in my head, I'm calling it the Sins of Peace Redux. When that's done, I will take down the Sins of Peace, and then I will start looking for an agent. In the meantime, though, it's going to stay up in its current state, and who knows, maybe if this blows up the way I hope it does. Maybe the original version of the Sins of Peace will be a collector's item. So, as something cool, if this does go the way I want it to, maybe what I'll do is before I take it down, I'll bulk order something like 10, 15 copies of the Sins of Peace. Have a few of those in my possession, and then I'll barter them off as commodities or something. But yeah, basically, I am now going to take writing very, very seriously. I'm not trying to make a full-time job out of it right away. I'd love to do that in the future, but right now that's not exactly the most viable option because it's a bit of a gamble. But basically, that brings me to the next point of this. As I said before, I really wanted to be an active duty Army officer. I didn't do everything that I could in my power, and I'd probably beat myself up enough about it. But here's the thing, though. You can't beat yourself up over the mistakes. You can't do that. You can't say that I really wanted something in life, and then when you suddenly hit that wall, just say no and you let it defeat you. That's nothing. That's not very good. I admit that being in the Guard, it's not exactly something that I wanted, but you know what? I'm still going to do everything I can to make the best out of it. I know National Guard doesn't have the best reputation in the country right now, but you know what? I'm going to be the exception to that rule. I'm going to be the motivated platoon leader who tries and gets everyone to get the job done and be the most fit platoon in the Guard, fit platoon in the state, if not the country. So, basically, I'm going to make the best out of that. If deployments do come up in the Guard, I'm going to be the first guy to volunteer for them. Pretty much, though, for writing, I think that I was destined to do it. I am a firm believer now in Destiny. I do not believe in that game, though. I played it. It's not as good as it could have been. But anyway, I do believe in Destiny to a certain extent. A couple of weird things happened to me right after I got the news I was a National Guard officer. A couple of days after the dust settled and I got this news of, oh no, I got National Guard, I got an A on my second story for creative writing. It's called Binary Soul, and I am going to be touching this up a little bit and submitting it to magazines. I think it's really quite good, and I'm just going to see what I can to get it out there. But I got an A on that, and then a couple of weeks after this, I went out to dinner with the judo club at college to Chinese place. We all got fortune cookies. I opened mine up, and my fortune was, your artistic talent can't be hidden much longer. The next day, when I was cleaning out my apartment, I found another fortune from earlier in the year that said that all of your future plans are going to succeed. So, I believe that I was born to do this stuff. I don't think that I'm going to be a bestseller tomorrow. Hell, I don't think I'm going to be a bestseller when I'm 25. So, the only thing I can say is just try as hard as you possibly can. Keep dreaming. Never quit. So, I'm going to stop being melodramatic. I'm going to stop extending this video out for as long as I possibly can. And I'm just simply going to say thank you very much for your support. If you've been following the page, if you read my book, thank you very much for doing that. It's going to mean all the difference to me when I go to push this forward. So, have a very happy holiday and never stop dreaming. Keep chasing it.